I'm Julie Ebersol, and I'm here with a Techniques Essential video, and today I'm going to be talking about stamping with markers. Now typically we think of stamping an outline image and onto cardstock and then coloring it in with markers. But in this example I'm going to show you how to take a solid image and we're going to apply color directly to rubber or directly to the stamp image with water-based markers. And I'm actually going to be working with the Memento markers, which come in a very lovely assortment of colors. And I'm going to be holding the marker parallel to the rubber stamp image. And the reason why is I want that brush nib. These markers come with two different kinds of nibs. There's a brush nib on one end and a fine bullet nib for writing on the other end. And you want to work with the big brush nib. And I'm holding it parallel so that I can get the widest part of that brush nib down onto the rubber and color as quickly and cover as much as possible. And I colored the blossom yellow, but I omitted the stem and the leaves so that I could later come back and color them with a green marker. So as soon as I'm done doing this, I'm actually going to huff on the stamp to re-moisten the ink, because a lot of times, it took a little bit of time to color the image, so that ink is probably going to evaporate and dry a little bit. But just huffing onto it or breathing with a nice hot shot of warm breath will reactivate or re-moisten the ink, and then I'll get a nice crisp multicolored impression there onto my cardstock. Now that looks great, but you can actually take it one step further by coloring the image, and I'm just doing that again. In this second example, I've laid down a base of the lighter colors, and then I'm going to come back in with the darker colors like the Tangelo, and I'm going to add some shading in different areas where I think it will look nice on the flower. And the reason we work light to dark is so that we don't contaminate our lighter colored markers. If I'd gone the other direction, I'd probably end up getting orange colored ink onto my yellow marker, and it's just easier this way to keep the markers clean as we're working with them. So here I am coming in with a darker shade of green. I'm going to shade the stem and the leaves very quickly. And again, the ink is probably going to be dried by the time I'm finished, so I'm going to huff on it, and that will re-moisten it, and then when I stamp it onto cardstock, you're going to see a very lovely multicolored and shaded image. So it's extremely easy and quick, and it's a super great effect. That flower is just perfect. And here's another fun thing to try. If you enjoy working with markers, I like to take an image like a sentiment, for example, and I'm going to lay down the lightest color first and get a nice base coat of the lighter green. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to take the darker green, and I'm actually going to hold it at one end and then just bounce the brush nib across the surface of that greening. And it's going to lay down different splotches of color, and I could even come back in with another marker, even darker. So again, you always want to work light to dark, and then when you huff on it, you will get a very nicely blended and mix of colors on there that's just kind of mottled looking. I think it's a really neat effect. It's fun, and you can play with it by using an even wider range of colors. Just always start with your lightest and move to your darkest. But isn't that a beautiful finished card? I think it's a great effect. It's very easy. I hope you'll try it. Thanks for watching.